So when you are, maybe it's that time, I'm transitioning out of my home and I've decided assisted living is really something that I have to explore. What are some of those factors that, for me, maybe I'm trying to put my mom and dad into assisted living. What should I help guide them or listen to them, when considering a facility?
Yeah. So I would say number one is reach out to either us or somebody like us. And I would recommend a boutique approach. Somebody, again, that has boots on the ground, that has a good pulse in the community, has been working with these communities, and they understand what's going on. Because you don't have to do it alone, because it can be pretty overwhelming in terms of what you need to factor in for a proper placement. So things to look for in a proper placement will include, I would say number one is going to be the level of care that your loved one, or if you're looking for yourself, that you're going to need. It's important to factor that in today's world and what that's going to look like in the future, because as the care needs progress, these communities, assisted living memory care communities, there's 4 license types in Central Florida and in all of Florida, really. So you have to factor that in. If you don't, and you select a community that can't accommodate what you're going to need in the future, you'll get a 45-day notice, and then you have to either go to a nursing home or you have to go into a community that has a different license type. So it's very important to look at care. Budget's going to be the other thing, right? So what you don't want to do is going in on your max budget. These communities will typically assess a year-over-year increase, and that can range anywhere from 2 to 6%. Wow. So it's important to know that. So you want to look for something that's going to be within your budget, of course. I would say culture is another big deal. These communities, they're great, but they all have kind of like their own little culture to them. So that's something that we would know and help guide families through as well. And I would say the other thing is going to be geography. To some families, it's very important for the community to be, 10 minutes away, down the street, because they're going to be planning on going daily to go see mom or dad, potentially. If that's not the case, and let's say the number one driver is, let's say, budget, then they may be more flexible in having something with like maybe a 20, 30-minute radius. Got it. Okay, so what we do through our approach is we figure all that out through a consultation. We'll figure out care, budget, geography, culture, and then we'll pull those options and share them with the families so they can make a sound decision. And then, of course, we take them on tours on those communities as well. So those are going to be the 4 major things you want to look into when selecting a community.
And is there a cost to the consultation that you offer?
No. So our services on the placement side of things that we do is 100% free to seniors and families. It's a great resource. People will say, well, how do you get paid, right? So we are paid a marketing fee by the community they select.
Got it.
Okay. And this is an industry standard. Another question we got to ask is like, well, if we work with you, are we going to pay more on the community we select? The answer is no. You would pay the exact same cost going into a community if you would do it alone versus us. There's no cost translated over to the client in any shape or form. So we're completely complimentary on that end. We can provide all this information, and then we also understand that it's not always going to be an immediate move. I will say the majority is an immediate move, but every now and then it's not an immediate move. So if anything, just what I've shared here really quick, it's a ton of information for families to think about, factor in, so when the time comes, they're ready.
Yeah. So it's probably better to start these conversations sooner rather than later.
I highly recommend it, yes.